tell me do something for God and country and go back to work,
That's a good one right there.
I'm gonna kick your
It was shocking news for Pawn Stars fans when rumors began to circulate that Richard Kevin Harrison, better known as Rick Harrison, had been sentenced to life in prison. Rick, famed for his no-nonsense approach to business and encyclopedic knowledge showcased on the show, suddenly found himself in serious legal trouble, something no one expected. For years, Pawn Stars captivated audiences with its inside look into the world of pawn dealing, rare artifacts, intense negotiations, and the day-to-day drama inside Rick Harrison's renowned Las Vegas pawn shop. However, Rick's flourishing television career has now taken a dark and unexpected turn. But what exactly did he do to warrant such a severe punishment? Let's dive into the events that led to this dramatic twist in Rick's life. Richard Kevin Harrison, a well-known American businessman and television personality, was born on March 22, 1965, in Lexington, North Carolina. At the age of 2, he moved with his family to San Diego, California, where he spent most of his childhood. Diagnosed with epilepsy at the age of 8, Rick spent much of his youth immersed in books, which laid the foundation for his deep knowledge of history, a key asset in his later career. His condition led him to frequently miss school, and he eventually dropped out during his sophomore year. Despite this setback, Rick remained ambitious, educating himself by reading extensively on history and business. In his teenage years, Rick started working with his father in various ventures, sharpening his skills in assessing value and authenticity, skills that became crucial later on. At 17, his girlfriend Kim became pregnant and the two married. They had 2 sons, Corey and Adam, before divorcing after 8 years. In 1981, Rick's family relocated to Las Vegas, Nevada, where his father, Richard Benjamin Harrison, aka the Old Man, opened the gold and silver coin shop. This business evolved into the world-famous gold and silver pawn shop by 1989, which would eventually become the setting for Pawn Stars. The Harrisons made the strategic shift from a coin shop to a pawn shop, realizing its greater profit potential, though the early years were tough. Rick and his father worked tirelessly to build their reputation, often facing risky situations and difficult customers, which honed Rick's negotiation skills. By the early 2000s, Rick had gained recognition in Las Vegas for his expertise in collectibles and historical artifacts. Seeing an opportunity, he began pitching a reality show concept based on their pawn shop. After years of rejection, he finally secured a deal with the History Channel, and Pawn Stars premiered in 2009. The show followed Rick, his son Corey Big Hoss, his father the Old Man, and their friend Austin Chumley Russell as they appraised and dealt with items of varying historical significance. The series was an immediate success. Rick's straight-talking attitude, business insight, and historical knowledge made him a fan favorite. His iconic phrase, "The best I can do is," became a staple of the show. Pawn Stars stood out from other reality programs thanks to Rick's insistence on including educational content. Each episode included background information on items, showcasing Rick's historical expertise. The show's popularity helped the pawn shop attract visitors from around the world. Merchandise sales soared, and Rick leveraged his fame by writing books, making public appearances, and even opening a restaurant. His rags-to-riches journey struck a chord with many viewers, and his straightforward business sense earned him widespread respect. Beyond his on-screen persona, Rick was known for keeping a steady hand on the business, often stepping in to rein in Corey's risky deals or Chumley's antics. He shared a strong, respectful bond with his father, and after the Old Man passed away in 2018, Rick carried on the business in his honor. Rick's personal life had its ups and downs. After divorcing his first wife, Kim, he married Tracy Harrison. Their 27-year marriage ended in 2011. He later married Deanna Burdick in 2013 in a ceremony officiated by Counting Cars star Danny Coker, with Chumley as the ring bearer. Though Rick generally kept his personal life private, his dedication to family often surfaced. He also expanded his business empire by opening Rick's Rollin' Smoke Barbecue and Tavern near the pawn shop and co-authoring a best-selling book, License to Pawn: Deals, Steals, and My Life at the Gold and Silver, which shared insights into his life and business strategies. Over the years, Rick amazed audiences with his ability to spot value in items others might overlook. From firearms and watches to ancient artifacts and Super Bowl rings, he demonstrated deep expertise. Notably, he once purchased a 2001 New England Patriots Super Bowl ring for $2,600 and acquired gold doubloons from a 1715 shipwreck, both reflecting his knack for lucrative deals. However, not all was smooth sailing. In 2023, Rick's life took a dark turn. Federal agents raided his Las Vegas home after months of covert investigation. The public remained in the dark at first, fueling wild speculation. The FBI, along with IRS agents and the Department of Cultural Heritage Protection, executed search warrants at Rick's home and the gold and silver pawn shop. Employees and customers were briefly detained as agents seized computers, records, and store inventory. Rick's son Corey described the raid as something out of a movie. Despite the chaos, Rick remained calm and composed as agents escorted him away, an image captured by neighbors and quickly shared online. As details emerged, authorities revealed Rick was under investigation for a large-scale tax evasion and money laundering scheme. He was accused of undervaluing historical artifacts for tax purposes while selling them at full market value through private channels. Worse yet, investigators claimed Rick had knowingly purchased stolen items, some belonging to museums and private collections. A whistleblower, a former employee, alleged Rick maintained an off-the-books accounting system for illicit transactions. Though Rick was released on bond and maintained his innocence, the evidence against him mounted. The History Channel suspended Pawn Stars during the investigation. Rick's lawyer, David Marshall, denied all allegations, asserting Rick always ran his businesses ethically. However, investigators uncovered financial documents, encrypted messages, and testimonies suggesting otherwise. Witnesses claimed Rick instructed staff to doctor paperwork and maintained offshore accounts to hide profit. A particularly damaging piece of evidence included text messages between Rick and a supplier discussing how to clean the provenance of an 18th-century document believed to be stolen from a university archive. Rick Harrison, the star of Pawn Stars, allegedly discussed how to structure a sale to avoid triggering reporting requirements for large cash transactions. Throughout the pre-trial proceedings, his public persona remained defiant. He appeared on several conservative talk shows, claiming he was being targeted for his political views and success. His supporters rallied around him, creating #FreeRick hashtags and organizing protests outside the courthouse during hearings. However, Rick hit a low point when he broke the law, shocking many who had seen him as a knowledgeable, straight-shooting businessman. The recently released arrest report revealed a more calculating side of Rick that few expected. His legal troubles uncovered a different aspect of his personality, and the surprises didn't stop there. While many rushed to judge Rick based on media reports, others urged compassion during this challenging time. Loyal fans formed support groups on social media, emphasizing his educational impact on viewers through the show. "Rick taught me to love history in a way school never could," wrote one supporter. In return, they felt it was time to support him. As the courtroom fell silent during sentencing, Rick, who had maintained his composure, visibly paled. His son Corey put his head in his hands, while Chumlee, who attended every day of the trial in support of his mentor, exited the courtroom overcome with emotion. The sentence shocked legal experts, with many suggesting it was disproportionate to the crimes committed. The judge, however, emphasized that Rick's actions not only involved financial crimes but also caused irreparable damage to historical and cultural heritage through the trafficking of looted artifacts. "You presented yourself as a guardian of history," the judge said, but in reality, you participated in the systematic looting and destruction of irreplaceable cultural sites for personal profit. Rick's legal team filed an immediate appeal, arguing that the punishment was excessive and unconstitutional, especially given the nonviolent nature of the crimes. However, a request to keep him free on bond pending appeal was denied. Images of Rick being led away in handcuffs soon dominated the media. Public reaction was mixed. Many fans expressed disbelief, suggesting a miscarriage of justice, while academics and cultural heritage experts applauded the strict sentence as a necessary deterrent. Rick's situation sparked an unprecedented wave of support. The Hearts for Harrison campaign gathered over 100,000 signatures petitioning for a case review. "We're not saying he shouldn't face consequences," said organizer Melissa Jenkins, "but a life sentence for nonviolent offenses is not justice, it's vengeance." Fans were encouraged to donate to his legal fund or sign the petition. Corey Harrison shared, "My father made mistakes, but he doesn't deserve to die in prison. He deserves a chance to make amends." The History Channel swiftly distanced itself by canceling Pawn Stars and removing reruns. In a statement, the network expressed disappointment in Rick's actions and reaffirmed its commitment to legal and respectful treatment of cultural artifacts. Despite this, Rick's legacy in reality TV and the pawn industry remained significant. Before his legal troubles, he had expanded his brand to include restaurants and bars in Las Vegas, with further plans in other cities. The Gold and Silver Pawn Shop, now under Corey's management, remains a popular tourist spot. Although visitor numbers initially dropped, Corey has rebranded the shop with a focus on transparency, ethical practices, and partnerships with museums. In an emotional interview 6 months after the sentencing, Corey acknowledged the challenges of preserving the family business. "What happened was wrong," he said, "and we're committed to being part of the solution." Chumlee, who always looked up to Rick, opened up about his conflicted feelings in a podcast interview. "I learned a lot from Rick, but I had to accept there was a side of him I never saw or didn't want to see. It's been hard." Meanwhile, the Harrison family remains focused on rebuilding their reputation and business. Corey, once seen as impulsive, has surprised many with his leadership and business sense. "Your messages of encouragement have been a lifeline," Corey said in a press statement, adding that Rick reads every letter from fans and draws strength from their support. Prayer circles are now held every Sunday outside the pawn shop. Those who can't attend are encouraged to send letters, cards, or photos to show Rick he's not forgotten. "My father taught me everything I know about this business," Corey shared. "We made big mistakes, but this shop has been part of Las Vegas for over 30 years, and I'm determined to keep it going for 30 more." Rick's journey, from a humble pawn shop owner to a reality TV star, and now a convicted felon, has been extraordinary. His downfall has been compared to a Shakespearean tragedy. Despite his deep knowledge of history, he used historical artifacts as a means of personal gain, ultimately leading to his own destruction. His story serves as a cautionary tale about fame, the temptations of success, and the fine line between business and crime. As the story unfolds, updates continue to emerge. In these dark times, Rick Harrison needs support more than ever. Fans are encouraged to send prayers, kind words, and positive thoughts. A website has been set up where supporters can leave messages that are delivered directly to Rick in prison. According to the Harrison family, hearing from fans has become Rick's main source of strength. "Rick has always appreciated the Pawn Stars viewers," said a family statement. "Now more than ever, knowing you're still in his corner means everything to him."